A very good morning to you. Today is the 20th day in the month of January 2025. Yes, how time flies. We are almost rounding up the month of January. Welcome to Family and Values on Galaxy Television, where we are reaching out for the stars. Family and Values is a show where we discuss everything that has to do with your family, my family, everything that has to do with you and I, your family, your relationship. What is it that you want to talk about your family? On the show this morning, we discussed everything. That's what family is all about. When you wake up this morning and you've lost hope, remember it is a year of ever flourishing. And trust me, you will flourish to the very end this year. Just keep your faith alive, keep your faith going. Don't lose hope. Trust in God completely. Trust in whatever you believe in. But for me, my trust is in God Almighty. Yes, we are streaming live on our Facebook page. You can download the Galaxy mobile app so that you watch us on the go. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Remember, we are still very much on YouTube. And a big shout out to the Star Times family. Last week on the show was very interesting. We had a lot of conversations discussing, ranging from parenting to a whole lot. We even talked about dressing as a whole. But hey, when you look at everything around that is happening, you discover that family, at the end of the day, it's everything that is you and I. And that's what the show is all about. This week promises to be very, very educative, exciting, informative, every information you need concerning your life, how to start the year. You are going to have it discussed this week. Yes, it's a brand new weekday. The traffics are on. Trust us, it's Monday. And you know how Monday is always bustling and shouting. The traffics, the roads are busy. If you're out there on the road driving, please be safe and consider the commuters that are also using the same road. If you're wondering what name of this pretty face, I am Princess Joy Ayo Abu. Well, I have my co-hosts yet to join me on the show, but let's go on our mini feature and when we return, we'll start our conversation. Don't go anywhere. Okay, welcome back. Yes, that was our mini feature, and we'll be discussing flexibility, embracing flexibility and adaptability in relationship generally. Before you walk down the aisle, before you continue to say, yes, I do. Are you flexible? Are you adaptive? Can you change the situations when the good is no longer going well? You know, when that man breaks down, when that woman breaks down, can you change? How flexible are you to changes when you become single and you're now Mrs.? Or you leave from bachelorhood to become a daddy wa or mommy wa, like some people would say, daddy wa or mommy wa. Well, we are going to be having all that conversation this morning on the show. I guess to be joining us via Zoom, but then let's see if we have a birthday shout out this morning. Good morning to you, Mama Jenzy. Do we have any birthday shout out?
Birthday shout out. Happy birthday to everyone celebrating today. Anniversaries. All kinds of beautiful anniversaries, and we pray God will continue to give you reason to celebrate. That's just the message for this morning.
Yeah, that's the message for this morning. Yeah. On celebration, that's good. Okay, we have our Zoom guests joining us. Chidima Uche. She is by applied biochemistry and also a relationship and coach expert. I hope she's ready this morning to join us. Good morning to you, ma'am.
Good morning, Lady Julie.
Good morning.
Good morning.
A beautiful morning to you. How's your family? How is work? How is life? How is everything? Happy New Year as well.
Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to you. How you doing this morning? Good to have you on the show. I think you owe us a New Year gift and happy Christmas. And when last, we just gather everything, but that's it. Okay, today we are discussing embracing flexibility and adaptability in relationship, and also wanting to know how flexible people are before they say I do. What are those changes? But let me ask this question. What does it mean for one to be flexible and adaptable in a relationship? So when you say, okay, this person is flexible, this person adaptive in a relationship, what does it really mean to you?
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Lady Joy? Are you there? Hello, Lady Joy.
Go on, we can hear you.
Okay, okay. So when you talk about flexibility and adaptability in marriage, this marriage is not for the weak. Yeah, so you've got to prepare your mind, before you go into marriage. Do you understand? So, and you must be open to whatever that marriage brings to the table. I can hear myself. So,
Go on,
can you
we're
hear
hearing
me?
you from
We
the
can
studio.
hear
We
you.
can hear
Okay,
you.
Okay,
yes.
let's hear you. Go on.
Yes, you must be flexible, to adapt to changes coming from your partner, from your, spouse, because marriage comes with a different, marriage is a different ball game. Do you understand? So you must be open to whatever changes that marriage brings. That is why one has to be very prepared, talk about issues in relationship before you go into marriage, because marriage, is not for the weak. So you must be open to changes that comes with marriage. Be flexible, be open to things, to new things. Do you understand? Yeah. Hello?
Relationship. Is it a
I,
sign of a red flag? You find someone feel like it's easy for me to
so
just move and not just be on a
can you
spot. Can we consider
can
that
you
to
can you
be a
please can
sign
you
of a
please
red
speak up a
flag?
little?
When someone is
Can
too
you can
flexible
you
in a relationship, can you
yeah.
consider that to be a red flag?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. Of course, I know there are different red flags, but I wouldn't consider that being a red flag in relationship or in marriage. Yeah, people have different, would I say, people are different, the way they behave, the way they reason, the way they act. So you wouldn't say, okay, this person is not, because he or she is not flexible, then that's a red flag. No, not at all. It's not a red flag at all. But it depends. So when you go, that's what I'm saying, when you go into marriage, you must be ready to be open to a lot of things, because you both are different individuals. So be open to, new ideas that your partner would bring into the marriage. So that you're not flexible enough doesn't mean that that's a red flag. It's not a red flag at all.
Okay, now Chidima, what do you consider red
Yeah.
flags to you? Because Olori was trying to say when one is
Say
too
that red flag,
flexible in a relationship, that would you consider that a red
red flag,
flag? Now I'm sure you didn't get her question, but that was the question she was putting out
feel
to you.
true.
That when one is too flexible
Yeah.
in a
Okay,
relationship,
for example, let me tell you what I mean by being too flexible. You are the type that
Yeah.
you can go all the way to make sure that things are working in your home, in your
Yeah.
relationship. You are not just
Yeah.
waiting for the man to be there before you do certain things. It's because you believe
Mm-hmm.
when he comes back, he should be able to appreciate the fact that I've been able to help to sort this out, sort that out. And another way of
Exactly.
being flexible is the area of finances. Finances.
Yeah.
Okay, a situation
Okay.
whereby
Yeah.
you know your husband has some constraint, and maybe the man is actually going through certain things, but men being who they are, he may not want to discuss it with the wife, and suddenly
Okay.
the school fees, there was too much pressure, and the husband said, don't
Yeah.
worry, I'll pay it next week, just give me a week. He has already told them, but the wife went to take the children to school, and suddenly they're asking again, and she decided to say, okay, to cover this situation, let me
Yeah.
pay this. And maybe she didn't even remember to tell the husband that I have settled the payment. So
Oh, okay.
to some in a
Okay.
relationship, to some relationship, it will like, are you trying to show that? So that's why I'm asking, can it be considered to
Yeah.
be a red flag when you are flexible? Flexibility means you don't need to wait. You just want things to be successful. You
Exactly.
want everybody to be happy. You're trying to fix in. You are not waiting on the normal schedule that you have planned. Can we consider to be a red flag?
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking.
To some, we have different individuals. Like some men, don't like it when a woman, yes, the woman is doing it out of, the abundance of the heart, out of love, out of support. Just like you said, maybe when it has to do with school fees, taking care of kids and all of that, paying off school fees. Maybe the man doesn't have it at that point, at that time. And the woman takes it upon herself to sort it out, maybe without telling the man. Do you understand? Some men would appreciate it, but some of the men would not. They feel you're trying to, rub shoulders with them. That is why we have different individuals. Do you understand? Are you there? So,
To
to
you,
some
what do you
people, it can be
consider red
considered to
flags
be a
in
red flag.
relationship, even before marriage? What do you consider red flags? Because we really need to get our bachelors out there to understand
That's
what
what I
are red
wanted
flags.
to.
Because we talk about red flag, what
Yeah.
are these red flags? So what do you consider red
Red
flags before you
flags.
even
You
say the
see,
I
those
do?
when you talk about red flags are those ill treatments one gets from the partner. And these red flags are very obvious. You see, in relationship, most of these people see these red flags: ill treatment, verbal bullying. Do you understand? Emotional torture. You're clearly seeing it. These are red flags. Verbal bullying. When people talk about violence, they feel it's only when the person hits you in a relationship that it becomes, domestic violence. But no, even verbal bullying is part of violence in relationship. And most of these people see these red flags. But because of the things they gain in the relationship at that moment. Hello? Are you there? So, ill treatment, verbal bullying, emotional torture, physical torture, these are red flags. They are considered to be red flags in relationship, even in marriage. The ill treatment, these are red flags. So, these things, both verbal bullying, your partner talks to you anyhow, insults you, these are part of red flags. Do you understand? Emotional torture. He mustn't hit you. She mustn't hit you. Emotional torture is part of red flag. When one is not flexible, when one is not open, to support you, even in relationship, you will be seeing these traces. So that is where you start taking care of it, even before you go into marriage. Because whatever you can't be able to sort in relationship, it will be very difficult to take care of it in marriage. Are you there?
On our break, when we return, we'll
Can
continue the conversation with you so that we'll fix your network issue. Let's go on our word of mouth. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Yes, we have been discussing embracing flexibility and adaptability in relationship. It's not a new thing to discover that lots of people don't want to be flexible, and some are too flexible and it becomes a problem. Some will adapt to any situation they find themselves, and it looks like somebody is taking advantage of it. One can actually take advantage of one being too adaptive. They feel like when they throw you here, you can take it. They throw you on this other side, you can take it. So sometimes you ask yourself, do I really need to be flexible? Do I really need to be flexible, or should I just wait and and just be tough? A lot of them have taught people how to be tough. So you look at it just like the question you were asking, I guess. Sometimes you want to cover up. You want to build that family up. Let nobody know the logo, and it looks like you're too forward. It looks like, what are you looking for? You want to show yourself, and you're doing this thing.
Woman enough to carry it.
And then sometimes you feel like, okay, well, let me stay jejeje, let me pretend as if not, and it looks like you're not concerned, you're not helpful, and you ask yourself, what do you people want? Where do I balance? Okay, we still have, yeah, Chidima, are you still there with us? Hello, Chidima Uche. She's a relationship expert. Good morning. Are you still there? Okay, I think she's trying to get her network back on on track.
She's actually joining us from Ikorodu. So
Ikorodu.
Ikorodu network. Ikorodu Aga people who celebrate you. Well done. Sorry for that.
Ikorodu. That is Aga people. But then I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and we're talking about this topic, and the person said he said, Joy, sometimes I just want to remain in the fence. When you come forward and forward, when you say okay, that she says she prefer you even ask her for the help than she bringing the help. So she waits for you, and then she feels like when you've gotten to that road cross that you can no longer, you come to her. That's when because she has seen that several times people mistake, especially ladies, that men mistake their understanding of personality, of kindness, to being that you just want to be a woman, you just want to show. And then she gave me a very clear, typical example, and she said something happened at home, and they were thinking of getting some furnitures at home, and suddenly the friend now had some furniture that they wanted to give away because they were relocating very good Italian furniture, and she felt like, oh, we want to make you can replace it. And then she reached out and said, okay, don't worry, let me deposit some money with you, I'll talk to my husband and this. Then along the line she was able to pay, and the friend said, okay, the money you deposited, just take the furnitures. And then she got home and was telling the husband in excitement, and the man said, it is not my house you're bringing those furnitures to. He said, take it somewhere else, And she felt like, but we need it, you get. Anyway, Chidima is back here with us.
Okay, Chidima.
Welcome back, Chidima.
It goes a long way when you're trying to...
Lady Joy, good morning. Mr. Lori, good morning.
Or trying to save some issues, but some were also...
Can you hear me? I don't know, network is fluctuating. Can you hear me?
You could have at least take a call through, send a message, even if you cannot reach him by, you understand, by text, to reach out to him. It is
okay. Welcome back, Chidima. I would like to ask this, because we've still been talking about red flags, flexibility, adaptability. Yeah. Now, can too much of flexibility, adaptability lead to one's loss of self-value and identity? Both in marriage and in relationships, can it lead to it? And you tell us, because a lot of people out there have lost value due to this issue of they want to please you. They've lost their self-identity and value. Can you please help us in that line?
Okay, Lady Jo, there was something you said about, please, I'll answer this. There was something you said about a wife who bought furniture, right? Without telling the husband. Yeah, I feel, men have this ego. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so I understand. Okay, from what you said, the woman bought the furniture, and without telling the husband. Women, we love to help, especially when we are in love. When we love our partner, of course we want to help. And most of the times we'll do it without, telling our partner, without telling our spouse. We just want to surprise them. But most of this, of course, men have ego. They wouldn't want to admit it. They wouldn't want to admit, just like a husband that is financially down. And you, the wife, you have it at that moment, you want to help without him asking. And you hear them say, I don't need to ask. You should give it to me without me asking. Then when you do it, look as if you want to show yourself, you want to rub shoulders. It's simply ego. Men have ego. So, and then when you don't do it, when you don't want to help, when you now wait for them to ask, it becomes a problem, another problem. So the only thing is, I feel, you're there, right? So the only thing I feel, just to balance the equation, flexibility, when you don't overdo it. Do you understand? Even if your husband, even if your partner is having challenges and you want to support, especially, you can ask him first. I want to get this. Okay, just like you said, the woman got the furniture and the man rejected it. Not as if he knows they need it. But because of ego, and he will feel the woman wants to show that he has money, that she has money, that she's capable. And it can actually lead to misunderstanding because of their ego. So what I feel is, in this situation, I can hear myself. Lady Joy, I can hear myself.
We can hear you loud and clear here in the studio.
Chidima, just speak
Chidima, just
on.
speak
We
up. We
are
can
with
hear
you.
you.
You don't need to hear
Okay.
us.
We are
We are
Okay,
hearing
asking the
so
you.
question
in this
across to you. All
situation,
you just need to do is to return
what I
back
feel is the
and
right thing
respond.
to do when you have issues like this. When it has to do with flexibility in marriage and adaptability in marriage. One, of course, you know your spouse, you know your man, and you know your woman, especially to the women. When you know that your husband have this ego, the way he carries himself, he is not financially stable at this point. But when you know that if you do it without informing him, okay, I want to help pay the children's school fees, because of course you know your spouse is not having it at that time, and you want to support him, don't just do it without letting him know. I have seen where it caused issues. The woman did it, out of love, just for her to support the husband, but it didn't turn out well. After settling the bill, they called the husband to inform him that your wife have settled this bill. And the man was not having it, the man was not happy about it. He went back to the wife asking why you had to do it without letting me know. Do you understand? So, if you know the person you married, you know your spouse, to another person, to another man, it will not be an issue at all. It's not be an issue. In fact, they will be happy when you do it without, whether you tell them or you don't tell them, is not a problem. But to another man out there, is a big problem. He will feel you're disrespecting him. You want to show him that you're capable, you have the money. This thing is all about understanding, and understanding who you got married to, who you're married to. If you know that your spouse, especially the man, is this kind of a person that have so much ego that will not accept you doing something as the wife without involving him first, then don't do it, because you will do something just to make him happy, and at the end of the day it will bring problems. He will feel you're disrespecting him. So whatever you know that will work, however you know that if you do it this way is going to be fine by your partner, by your husband or your wife, you do it that way. But then if your partner is a person that will not take it, when a man that will not take it, when you do something, you try to support him or pay up a bill without letting him know, please make sure you let him know. Tell him that you have some money on you and you want to settle this. Let him know, than doing it and then telling him that you've done it. Some of them will get angry because of their ego. They will not want to accept it, even though they know that it's a relief. I don't know if you understand. It's a relief to them, but they will not want to admit it because they feel I'm the man and I'm the man. So that is just the way it is. Know what works for you. If your husband will not like it when you do something just to support him, and you do it without letting him know, if it will get him angry, if it will create issue, make sure you let him know first before you do whatever support, before you render any support to him. So that's it.
Okay, Chidima, I want to find out what are the things to consider, or let me say steps to consider before going into a relationship.
Yeah.
Because now we're talking about flexibility and adaptability. You don't
Yeah.
really know 100% of the attributes or characteristics or
Yeah.
the personality of that person you have just gotten married to or you are just going into a relationship
Yeah.
with, because you are just
Yeah.
coming together. And marriage is something that as the day go by, the years go by, you have an unveiling of who your partner or your spouse is every day. Now,
Yeah.
what are those steps that can actually help one and guide one into knowing how to go into a relationship? What are those steps? That's
Yeah.
number one. Number two, I also want to ask you,
Yeah.
with the scenario we painted about, the lady that Joy was trying to make reference to, In a
Okay.
situation whereby the lady decides to just reach out to the husband and pretend she never even made any deposit to say she wants to speak, because I was just telling her she could have sent a message
Okay.
or do a call directly. And if you cannot reach him by call, you can always do a message. In a situation whereby, you know, some women will be very, very, they are very, how do I put it? They are very secrecy. It's not they wanted to. It's because of this ego that you just mentioned, the ego that you mentioned.
Yeah.
They will just want to keep it to themselves and say, my love, do you know I saw a particular furniture and I think it can work well for us? You know, we're just thinking
Yeah.
of getting a new furniture. I would send you a picture if you like it. Meanwhile, she's planning it too.
Okay. Yeah, that's another.
She, you know,
Yeah.
it's so beautiful. And I think we can, you know, it will save us. Okay, the one we saw that time is about maybe 250,000 or 500,000, but this one is just like 200,000, and 50,000 can be used to move it and do whatever it is we want to do. They will send it to a husband, not knowing that our mind is made up that this is a beautiful furniture for my home. Now, it's all pretense. You know, maybe trying to cover up or not trying to play safe. Okay, let me put it, play safe, playing safe. Which one do you think is best to honor your spouse in this regard? So you have two questions. What are the steps we need to take when we're working on, you know, considering relationship? What are the steps we need to take?
Okay.
And this second phase of the scenario that we were talking about.
Okay. So first of all, people in courtship, people in relationship should normalize asking the right questions to their partners, putting the important things into consideration before going into marriage. Because any issue you're not able to take care of in relationship, it would, once it gets into marriage, it will get worse. And it will even be difficult for you to take care of it in marriage. That is why you need to put a lot of important things into consideration before you go into marriage, while you're in relationship. Now, the first thing one has to consider if you're in relationship, in courtship, before you go into marriage, number one is compatibility. Compatibility is very important. You know, I hear people in relationships, I hear them say things like, I can't wait to be with you. I can't wait for you to wake up on the bed, you know, by my side every morning. I can't wait. I don't even know how our kids will look like, how beautiful they. Those things doesn't matter. You know, if they normalize putting the important things into consideration, I'm sure we'll have, you know, less issues in marriage. So number one in the list, we'll just take few of them, the important ones. So I'll list them out, then we'll take them one after the other. Number one in the list is compatibility. That is number one. Number two is love. You know, love is a beautiful thing. And you must consider love in relationship before saying I do. Love is very, very strong, very important. Then number three is religion. Religion has to be considered. You must put religion into consideration before going into marriage. Compatibility, number one. Love is number two. Then the third one is religion. Another one is cultural differences. You see these cultural differences? Don't joke about it. It's very important. You must consider it in relationship before you go into marriage. Another one is personality. Who is this person you want to get married? Personality is very important. The last but not the least is physical attraction, physical appearance. So we'll just be, you know, we'll take it one after the other. I think I've mentioned 6 of them. The important thing. There are so many of them, but let's just go with these, you know, few ones that I've mentioned. I mentioned compatibility. I mentioned love. I mentioned love. I mentioned physical appearance, physical attraction. and religion and the cultural differences and personality. So let's start by explaining this compatibility in relationship and compatibility in marriage. How compatible are you both in that relationship? Have you checked if you both are compatible? How does he take life? How does she see life? Are you both compatible? Can you make it as one when you go into marriage? Can you make it as husband and wife when you go into marriage? Have you thought of it? Are you both compatible? How do you see life? Can you both work it out being husband and wife? Compatibility is something that you must not, you must look into it before you say I do to whoever you're dating now. If you both are not compatible, don't even think of going into the marriage. If you both are not compatible, you don't need to go into the marriage, because compatibility in relationship matters a lot. You both must be compatible to be one to make it a marriage. So number 2 is love. I hear a lot of people say, because I've counseled men and women, and I hear these men say things like, I don't really love her, but I would marry her. She's a good girl.
In all that you've
I'm sure
listed.
you can hear me, right?
Hello, Chidima. Please, can you just go to the second question, because we don't have much time for you to be able to dissect the compatibility, the cultural differences.
Okay, let me let me hurry on. Let me just hasten up. Okay, so let me hasten up. Okay, so let me just hasten up. The second one, love. Love is very important in marriage, of course. You must have to consider it, not just the physical looks. And then these cultural differences is very important, because I've heard somewhere that after a woman has given birth, a snake would come to welcome the baby. So let me just tell you, what if they didn't have this discussion in relationship, and then you're in marriage, after giving birth, a snake is coming to welcome your baby, and maybe after in marriage they're taking you to the river to cleanse you, to do some rituals. So you must have to talk about this, ask questions, have a long talk with your partner in relationship. Cultural differences, what do they believe in, what's their culture like? Then physical attraction is also very important. You must be attracted to your spouse. Because it's not about, okay, she can cook very well, it's good and all of that, but you must be attracted to your spouse or to your partner, because it's very important. Another thing is religion. You cannot be a Muslim and you're getting married to a Christian.
Please, we need you to give a second the illustration that Olori gave. We need you to give an answer.
Okay, so let me go to the second one about the flexibility, right? The second question you asked. Yeah, so okay, if a woman sees or wants to help, or if a woman sees something that she wants to help,
we want to round up and because of timing, but I really wanted you to give an illustration to what Olori gave. The second phase of that is very important, so that we have a balance into that before we round up. We have just 60 seconds to do that. Our time is fast spent already.
About the flexibility. So if in marriage a woman really wants to support, and like Mrs. Olori said, you can actually chip it in to your husband. Okay, this is what I want to do, and I have some money with me. What do you think? Then let your partner say his mind. Don't just on your own you do things assuming that it make your partner happy. Not just to the men, not just to the women, even to the men. This flexibility. I've seen men who get things for their wives. A man saw something beautiful and he bought it for the wife, and when they got home, the wife did it. So in this case, if you want to do something for your spouse, I think you need to involve them first. Tell them, okay, I like this. I want us to get it. I know you don't have it now. I can support you, in getting it. Go ahead. Than just buying something and bringing it home, feeling that it will make your spouse happy. No, You must balance it. So especially to the men. I know men love respect. So when you bring it up to them and tell them, okay, I've seen this thing, look at this thing, I've checked it, I've checked the price. I think I what I have on me can go. Can I go ahead to order it? Can I go ahead to buy it? Then if he says yes, fine. So that when they're bringing it, you in fact you wait for them to with joy than getting something without involving your partner, without telling your partner. It doesn't, most men don't like it. So you get them involved first, tell them this is what I want to do. Even to the men, I've seen men who would just build a house. They would talk about the design of the house without even getting their wives involved, and it's not right. So you must balance it. To the men, to the women, you must balance it. If a man, there is something you want to do, get your wife involved. Okay, look at this design of this thing. Do you like it? I want to get this out. The woman will feel loved. The woman will feel okay, and valued. So to the women also, if you feel that your husband is down, or you feel that you have, the capacity to support your husband because your husband is facing some challenges, don't just go ahead to do it. Make sure you involve him. Show him, tell him, okay, I want to do this. I want to help pay the children's school fees. I can even send it to your account. It will make the man feel respected. So
Thank
that
you
is
very
just it.
much.
Make sure you balance it. Don't just do things on your own without
Thank you for
involving your
joining.
Thank
partner.
you. To make the
So
man feel
that's it.
respected. It's all right. We've taken it from both
Yes.
sides. Thank you very, very much for joining us this
Thank
morning.
you. We appreciate
We've been
your
discussing with
Yeah.
Chidima Uche. She ran away. She's back. She's a marriage and relationship expert. Thank you. Big shout out to the people
Thank
over
you very
there. Thank you.
much.
Thank you very much. Okay,
Yeah.
so as we round up the show this morning,
Okay. Every morning when you wake up, you have two choices. It's either you sleep with your dreams or you wake up and chase them. It's either you wake up, like this, chase your dreams, or you sleep with those dreams. Just stay there and be sleeping with it. On that note, you heard it, flexibility and adaptability. You need to carry yourselves along. Have a great day. We wish you the very best of today. My name is Remain Olori Adejoke Adabi David. See you tomorrow. Bye from my side.
when I saw that this morning, it gave me a different spark. Either you sleep with it or you wake up and chase it. Yeah, wake up and chase it. Tomorrow is Tuesday with the difference, and we will be discussing raising empathetic and kind kids. It's important we have that conversation. A lot is happening in our society. How are you raising your kids? Are they empathetic to one another? Are they kind to one another? We'll have that conversation tomorrow. Don't go anywhere. Yes. The next program is up on Galaxy Television, and I am Princess Joy Eyo Abu. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful, stress-free Monday. Bye.